So gold was a no-brainer. But what about elephants? Is it possible they once roamed the Philippines? They do not today, no doubt. But when you see the actual archeology and history on this, you will never question this narrative again. Welcome to 100 Clues. The Philippines is the ancient land of gold known as Ophir in the Bible and history. No, it's no fable, and this has already been proven in full in the God Culture Solomon's Gold series. At the request of many viewers, we have pulled out 100 compelling clues, really proofs or evidences, from this research in which we will highlight briefs of the most compelling points, and yes, there are over 100. These videos are for those who have not had time to watch Solomon's Gold series, and for review, and easy to share to friends and family, especially skeptics. This brief video cannot replace that 50 video series nor prove the way that it does, but this will be very effective nonetheless. So go there for full evidence. But now, part 18 of our series, 100 Clues, the Philippines is Ophir, one clue at a time. The second test is ivory. Now remember, ivory has more sources than just elephants, and we'll show you what existed in the Philippines before. But yes, elephants in the Philippines are extinct today, but not in history nor archaeology. Let's see. First, scientists recently unearthed a skeleton of an ancient rhino native to the Philippines. Now, they dated it 700,000 years old, 709,000. Not 710, no, not 700 even, no, 709,000. Yeah, why not 709,863.956256? I mean, come on, really, 709,000? Okay, whatever. Really, their margin of error, as far as dating things before the flood, is about 700,000 years. So actually, they really only know this is ancient and very old. That's all. That's it. Good enough, though. The rhino horn is a great source of ivory. So really, already check, but we won't leave it that vague, don't worry, because we're going to go for it and prove that elephants did in fact live in the Philippines. Ooh. What's funny is Wikipedia, when we first began researching this topic, used to say that elephants were native to the Philippines, and they went extinct between 1300 and 1600 AD. Now, history actually agrees with that, even still. But not Wikipedia, no, not anymore. They have now changed their narrative since claiming the Sultanate of Sulu introduced elephants to the Philippines in the 14th century. Now, there's actually some truth to that. That is a valid story, but not the origin of elephants in the Philippines. It is nonsense to draw such a conclusion. We'll show you. Of course, none of them seem to actually bother with the details of that narrative and the many bones that have been found there. But why would scientists bother with, well, science? See, we do use Wikipedia, but we vet it, as we all should. There's nothing wrong with using it if you do not just blindly accept what they say. Search their sources, prove it different ways. Sometimes they are very academic and very good, and sometimes, like this one, not so much. In fact, the source of this claim comes from Filipino, a website, who basically repeats the unsubstantiated claim based on a false narrative that requires one to abandon reason. We'll show you. Kind of like this blog, Pinoy Culture, which goes out of their way not to actually prove anything, but they buy the claim, nevertheless, as fact rather than actually testing it head on, which one can do. See, colleges don't teach how to do that. They teach how to do this. go around in circles in a narrative, make it sound really good, and end up basically drawing the same conclusion that was already being drawn. Basically, the Sultanate of Sulu is recorded in history as bringing a group of elephants, I believe 600, which it appears he received from Java, Indonesia, to one place in the Philippines. I'm sorry, one place. Got that? The island of Jolo. There is no record of his depositing them around the Philippines, but only taking them, and all of them, to that one island, practically on the southern tip of the Philippines. So, the conclusion being drawn here is the Sultanate of Sulu is the origin of elephants in the Philippines. And they were never here prior. Well, that's if one does not bother to read history nor follow archaeology in the least, perhaps. We say no. According to the Philippine Daily Inquirer, a well-researched article by Ambeth Ocampo tells us archaeologists have actually excavated remains of ivory sources in all three areas of the Philippine archipelago. And check out these scientific, most definite native names. Rhinoceros philippinensis. I wonder if that could be from the Philippines. Gee, just maybe. Stegodon luzonensis. I don't know, could that be from Luzon Island maybe? You know, the giant dinosaur elephant with the massively huge tusks, good for ivory. Buffalo bubalis, cebuensis. What? Cebu? Buffalo also have horns that could be used for ivory. And, what's this? Elephas, or elephant, Bayeris. Named for H. Otley Beyer, who excavated them. Seems Wikipedia forgot something. Well, a whole lot of somethings. Not only in ancient times, but elephants roamed the Philippines at least into the 17th century, as recorded by Jesuit Ignacio Francisco Alsina in 1668, who also records they derived ivory from it, the elephants, telling us what they even made out of it. He records the natives of Jolo even eating the flesh of the elephant. Now that's the one thing that does match the story of the Sultanate, but that's the only part. All the rest of this says the Sultanate of Sulu story comes far later and has nothing to do with the origin of elephants. Now, we can leave this here, but let's take this a bit deeper, because we really want to prove this one out. In 1521, Pigafetta, the Italian scholar who traveled with Magellan, records seeing elephants, especially on Palawan, Philippines. And Elephas bayeri, which the article mentioned, was found in Pangasinan and Visayas and other areas of Luzon. Sounds like maybe, just maybe, the island of Jolo does not exist in Pangasinan, nor in Visayas, nor in Palawan, or other areas of Luzon, does it? So does the narrative fit? No. Even Filipino, who Wikipedia quotes, does record elephants were indigenous to the Philippines in Luzon and on Panay Island, Visayas. Elephas bayeri was not only found in Pangasinan but Cagayan, Kalinga, and Apayao on Luzon in, if we're reading this correctly, looks like maybe over 100 sites. It's assuming they found elephant bones in all of those. Don't know, it doesn't seem to be very specific on that, but obviously more than one. They also found rhinoceros bones, the article records even later. Some articles search for the origin of the elephants in Borneo, noticing that in 1400 AD, the Sultanate of Sulu was gifted elephants by Java. And that is a real, true story. No problem with that. And he brought them to Holo Island in the very, very southern, basically, tip of the Philippines. No problem with that. But what they assume is that was the origin of all elephants in the Philippines and Borneo. And we already know that is ludicrous. In fact, if you read this, you will find they claim Borneo had elephants all the way back millions of years ago. Yet in the Philippines, who has found such bones, not Borneo, who has found no bones whatsoever. Funny how that works. They'll leave that claim, but no, not the Philippines, even though they found bones. None have been found in Borneo, but several have been found in the Philippines. Very, very ancient, in fact. If they do, the origin is far more likely the Philippines, as even chicken migration patterns have proven that the Philippines is the origin of the Polynesian islands, and not the other way around. The difference: Borneo has no evidence of native elephants, but the Philippines does have ample evidence. And citing one story from 1400 AD, where elephants were brought to one island, cannot explain the scenario of the Philippines. Let's map it out and see for yourself. The salmon or pink areas have unearthed bones of elephants, some as far back as long before the flood. Yes, the 600 were brought to Holo in the 1400s, but that does not explain all these other areas, especially the many bones which far predate that era. To assume that is the origin of elephants in the Philippines is just not logical. So elephants lived in the Philippines in all three areas. Rhino bones have been found in Kalinga in the north of Luzon, Metro Manila, Fort Bonifacio, in fact, as well as other locations, especially in the north, on Luzon. Buffalo have been found at least in Cebu and Mindoro, another very good source of ivory. And finally, the really big elephant, the giant dinosaur Stegodon, has been unearthed all the way up north in Apayao and Cagayan, also in Metro Manila, and down in Davao on Mindanao. And the reality is, no one's really digging in the Philippines for archeology. It's not large scale being excavated right now. Very specific places you'll see, they keep going back to the same caves and trying to find more and more. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I'm sure they have limited resources, but the point is, no one's looking. And yet they've found all this stuff. My friends, elephants are native to the Philippines. In ancient times, ivory sources were abundant. So gold and silver, check, native. And now ivory, check, native to the Philippines. But what about these apes? That seems a little odd, right? Have you ever seen a big, giant, hairy ape in the Philippines? Oh, this one will surprise many. They're just not reading it correctly. As we keep saying, there is no debating the Philippines is the land of gold in all of history. It is time this knowledge be restored. For those about to comment in ignorance, yep, we always get them. We dare you to watch Solomon's Gold series by the God Culture. We're trying to give you the truth if you'll only just review it and test it and prove all things for yourself. We are the original channel to prove the Philippines is in fact Ophir and the Garden of Eden. We haven't even gotten there yet. Even here, we are breaking these into sound bites and clear points, but watch how all 100 clues tie together in history, the Bible, science, geography, language, etc. And this series will blow you away. Thank you for watching 100 Clues. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the bell and like us on our new Facebook, The God Culture original. If you wish to skip ahead, go to the God Culture YouTube channel and watch our Solomon's Gold series in English or Tagalog. There will be a link on the next screen. We can know this truth and be confident this belongs to the Philippines, and no one can disprove it. Until next time,